Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I make art videos and post-grad videos, just like everything in between. So hit the subscribe button to see more content from me. And if you really enjoy this video, give it a like so I know that you're enjoying it. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But today I really wanted to talk some more about my post-grad experience. If you're a regular on my channel, then you know that that's something that I've been talking about recently because I am on the job hunt, and I feel like graduating from college, and I guess just graduating from any stage really, is just such a culture shock. I feel like you're getting thrown into something that you have not been really used to ever. Not to mention you're leaving a routine that you've been in for a long number of years, for me 4 years. So that's something that I wanted to chat about today. But first, I also wanted to color because I think that that's relaxing, and why not? I'm going to print out one of my black and white line drawings. I was working on a character drawing last night on my iPad, so I think I'm going to print out that, get some color pencils, maybe markers, and color them in while I talk to you guys some more about all that's been going on for the past couple months. So yeah. Yes. Okay, this is super cool because this is one of the first times, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time I'm seeing, some of my digital artwork realized as like an actual thing I can touch and look at in person. It's strange, but it's like a good feeling, It feels, I come from a traditional art background, so it feels very real this way, and it's like, I made that, drew it online, and now it's like here looking at me. So I think that's really, really cool. So I'm just gonna be coloring, and I'll update y'all along the way as I color. But really the main thing we're chatting about is this postgrad stuff, which has still been crazy. In one of my previous videos, I spoke about change. In terms of the change being weird, nothing has changed in that regard. It's still very, very interesting territory. As many of you know, I want to work in the animation industry. And of course, I'm not alone. It's a really desirable industry. You get to make amazing things and work with a talented array of people. But like I said, a lot of people want to work in the animation industry, and I've accepted that. Like, it's not an easy feat to just apply and get hired, so I've accepted that it's going to take some time. But that's not to say that it doesn't take wear and tear on you mentally, continuing to apply to jobs and hearing back rejection after rejection. It definitely is not very fun at all. At one time, it very much felt like once you have a degree, once you graduate, like, it's gonna be like companies kind of like tearing down your door. But I think that it's a mixture of more and more people getting educated and getting degrees, which is amazing, but that's just more people applying to jobs as well, so that's something to consider. And then we just got done with the first aftermath of a pandemic, so a lot of companies are still trying to navigate how they are doing their onboarding, how they're doing their programs, how they're introducing interns. A lot of companies only take interns that are still in college, so there's like a lot of factors going on, and it can get incredibly discouraging. So this job search situation, on top of all this feeling of change and not doing the kinds of things that you used to do, not engaging with people as much as you might have been in the past, it's a lot. And I'm someone that's dealt with imposter syndrome, the feeling like you're in a space but everyone else in the same space as you is more deserving to be there for some reason. You feel sort of like an imposter in your own skin, and I've dealt with that, and I still feel just strange even in this sort of pause period where I'm still working on my stuff. I work on things every single day. But it's just strange because I'm used to busying myself so much, and now it's kind of gotten to the point where it's almost too quiet in my life, almost too chill, and I'm just not at all used to that. I'm not at all used to that. And it's just like a weird internal conflict where it's like I deserve to be in a space where I can showcase my work and feel proud of myself and continue, but also feeling like, am I even going to be valuable in another space? Like, what do I offer? What do I bring to the table? And like, there's just a lot of like mental questions going on. It's not easy. Applying to jobs, it seems easy. It seems like there's so many. When you narrow down the ones that don't suit your career path, jobs that you are not quote unquote qualified for by what they're asking in the position, a lot of positions want you to have years and years of experience, which is unrealistic for a lot of recent grads. Jobs in the areas that you are living or want to live in, it starts to get slim pickings, and there's a lot of other people that you're working with, which just drives me to do better, but also it can get extremely discouraging, like I said, once you're getting no after no after no. It's frustrating, and it takes wear and tear on the body, on the mind, on the soul, especially after being in a high school setting where it's like, once you go to college, you'll get a job, easy peasy, and that was kind of the narrative that was being told to you in high school, and things are changing very drastically. Of course, grad school is always an option, and there's tons of other options as well in terms of furthering your education. But I also understand that grad school is not financially available to everyone, and it's not really, again, something that is applicable to every skill set, meaning that not everyone has to get a further degree in order to necessarily like get a job in the career that they want to. Meaning that just because you earn a master's degree in accounting does not mean that you will land a job in accounting the very next day. The tables have really turned, and it's quite interesting. We have a lot of resources like LinkedIn and all types of like job application sites, but it seems like sometimes like you get to the job and there's already like a bajillion people that have applied before you. So now you not only have to have those credentials, but you also have to figure out, how am I going to market myself to stand out among these other candidates, and what can I do to also network and get to know people that would also know something about this job. It's just, and it's really sad because it makes some of my hopes and dreams seem and feel sort of unattainable, which I know that they're not unattainable because I've seen it happen, and the more that I talk to people and the more I learn from people, the more I know that it's possible. But it's also just, it's an uphill climb for sure. Yeah, a lot of it is just like staying strong and like persevering and pushing forward, which I feel like I had to learn a lot about perseverance while I was in college, so that's something that I was definitely prepped for in terms of just like my coursework load and just like dealing with so many different avenues while I was in school is definitely something that has helped prep me for the let's keep going, let's stay positive, we can do this kind of attitude that you have to apply to the job search in postgrad. Period, point blank. I've literally forgotten to start coloring, so another topic that I feel like people are really starting to open up about and talk about on YouTube here and on other platforms is post-grad depression. I think the pandemic paired with feelings of missed out opportunities. I thankfully got to have an in-person graduation this past May, but a lot a lot of people and a lot of graduates and students did not have the same opportunity. So there's a lot of feelings being just like internalized by students and postgrads that had to miss out on opportunities. A lot of people missed out on internship opportunities and things like that, again, because of the pandemic. It just seems like postgrad depression is more rampant than ever, and I think it's just a product of like all the things I'm talking about: the pressure, the change, the seemingly endless job applications. It can be a lot, and when you're used to being someone that's productive and being a college student that's hyper involved and always doing something, to feeling almost a sense of uselessness, it is ridiculously tough. It's hard. And I feel like you just have to meet people at their level and hear from them, because it's hard. It's tough. And a big thing is you just want to make your family proud, your friends proud. You just want to feel proud of yourself even, and it's just kind of like, this is not what I'm used to. This is not my comfort zone in any way. So it's like, how can I feel proud or be proud? Or like, I have a degree, but it really just feels like a piece of paper, because it is surface level. It doesn't seem like it's helping that much anyway. But I have been trying to stay away from those thoughts and feelings, because I learned and grew so much in college, and I would never take that back. Oh goodness, my chair is being loud. And I would never like take that back for anything. So I can't say that I didn't get anything out of this experience, and I'm definitely blessed to have been able to study and get an education. I think it's so incredibly valuable, and the network of people that I know that I've been able to build and meet has been amazing. But those are just some of the negative and a lot of the times untrue thoughts that kind of start lingering in your mind, especially 4 or 5 months after you graduated. And it's like, why? I mean, a year or two from now, there's still definitely people still trying to find their purpose or what they want to do and get to that point. So it's frustrating, and it's a lot. I try to stay away from comparing myself to others, because I feel like it's almost a cliche now, but everyone's at a different chapter in their life than yada 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 than other people, so you can't compare your chapter whatever to somebody else's chapter whatever, because you don't know where people are in their lives or whatever, what have you. So that's a lot easier said than done, but definitely try to implement it in your life. I have not been on social media as much. I think my real social media now at this point is LinkedIn. I'm on that pretty often, but even that can become overbearing sometimes if you let it get to that place where it is like taking over your life. It can become overbearing. So try to avoid that with LinkedIn. A lot of people, especially in the entertainment industry, are working and working and working and working almost 24/7, it feels like, because of just like the sheer amount of like content that you have to produce, the amount of, you're working on a team a lot of the times, you're working with feedback, so it feels like a lot of work. So a lot of the people, the industry professionals that I've spoken to, have honestly the same way that people tell you when you start in college to really cherish your 4 years, which I definitely understand now. Cherish your 4 years because they literally do fly by. It's the same kind of thing that I'm hearing from industry professionals with this time period after college, is to enjoy this breather that you have, because when you do get into the industry, there's going to be a lot going on. So still the goal, that's not meant to like scare you away from the industry, but just to encourage you really to enjoy the moment that you're in. And I'm definitely not trying to take like this period for granted. And specifically with the animation industry, just don't compare yourself, because it just literally helps no one. But you also, as an artist specifically, oh my gosh, when you're trying to enter an industry where your art is important, you do have to be able to view your artwork through a critical lens. So not just having a veil over your eyes and be like, your perspectives and stuff are completely off in a background, for example, does not mean you're gonna be like, well, in my mind, like that is how perspectives should work, and like that's how I like it, and yada yada yada, and that's like, it's perfect to me. That's beautiful and lovely, my dear, but you know, perspectives are set in a certain way to make things look realistic, and most of the time in a production for animation, they want something, when we're talking about perspective, we want it to make sense and look realistic because that's what they're trying to portray to the audience. So if you're just choosing to ignore that in your own work and ignore that you need to make improvements in that matter, even though you might have gone to school and you might have done this and you've practiced for this amount of time or taken X amount of classes, if there's something that you realistically need to improve on in that aspect, go ahead and make the moves to continue to improve yourself and use your time wisely. That's just something that I've been continuing to be conscious of, and just improving in areas that I know I need to improve, listening to feedback that's constructive, and just trying to be the very best I can be as I continue to apply, and just staying hopeful. Postgrad, like I've been explaining this whole video, is difficult. So it's something hard, but be easy on yourself. If you aren't being easy on yourself, then who will? If you're not taking care of yourself, then who will? So yeah, I didn't get far with this coloring sheet at all. Like, this is where I'm at. So I was just chatting with y'all. Bye. Thank you for listening to me rant a little bit about postgrad stuff today. Filming an outro because my camera died, but yeah, that's just something that I felt like I should talk about today. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more from me, and I will see you guys in the next one.